Well, here we are, folks. This is Charlie Bass, and I'm Tom Akins, and we're here in Thailand, in Bangkok, talking about the NFL. This show that we have is so new, we don't even have a name for it yet. And actually, by the time this airs, we'll have a logo and all that put together, so you'll be able to see it. But as of right now, we're still trying to figure it out. In any case, that's what the show is all about, the NFL. And each week, we're going to do some segments where we talk about different aspects of what's going on in the National Football League. And one of the segments, the one we're going to do today, is a look at the games that are coming up this weekend. We'll do a segment where we talk about the games that were just played and do some analysis on those. And then we'll have other segments where we just talk about news and things that are happening in the NFL, whether it be injuries, firings, legal cases, anything that may come our way. So.
And there's a lot to cover, an awful lot.
There's a lot to cover, that's right.
We have no shortage of information.
No shortage of information, that's right. So today, let's take a look at next week's schedule. This will be week 14 in the NFL. And the playoff picture is now getting pretty pulled together.
Yeah, for the AFC, it's pretty well established, the top three teams. Patriots are obviously there. Houston's obviously there. And either Pittsburgh or Baltimore is going to win the NFC North. Or right. AFC North, excuse me.
And then AFC West, we've got pretty tight race. You got Oakland and Denver both at 7-5. They've split the series this year, right? Each won one and lost one.
I think that's correct, yeah.
So there's no advantage there. So it's going to come down to the final four games in the AFC West, and also in the AFC North, where we've got Pittsburgh and Baltimore tied.
Correct. At
9-3. And Baltimore, though, has the advantage there because they beat Pittsburgh.
Both games.
Both games.
Yeah, the opening day massacre, and then they beat them the second time around.
Right. So that race is in Baltimore's favor at the moment. And then in the East, AFC East, you got New England.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much alone. They're at 9-3 with a pretty soft schedule coming up. So they're looking good to take that division and maybe be the number one seed.
Well, the two upcoming games that Oakland and Denver both face. Oakland faces Green Bay in Green Bay. New England faces Denver in Denver.
And then New England goes on to play Washington.
Well, that's this week, I think.
This week, right?
Okay.
Next week is at Denver.
Correct.
And then they end with Buffalo.
And Miami.
And the way Miami's playing right now, that's actually not going to be soft for them.
Well,
Miami's playing as well as any team in the league, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, but I don't think it will affect the Patriots' ability to get into the playoffs. I think for Oakland and Denver, they've got some games to win against teams that are.
Well, what I'm talking about
records.
with the Patriots, though, is their chance to be the number one seed.
Oh, I think it's excellent now. Excellent.
I think they can win 3 out of the last 4, end up at 13-3.
Correct.
I'm sorry, 12-4. They're 9-3 right now.
Okay,
so they could be 12-4. And they did lose to Pittsburgh, but if Baltimore wins that division,
Pittsburgh's wild card.
Pittsburgh's the wild card, and New England would be the number one seed.
Correct.
Baltimore would be the number 2 seed. So anyway, let's look at the games we got scheduled for this week. Starting on Thursday, the special Thursday night edition, we've got Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
You got to give Pittsburgh this one. In Pittsburgh, Cleveland hasn't shown anything offensively recently. Colt McCoy has his ups and probably more downs. And Pittsburgh's back at their usual standard of play at this time of year. They're a tough team.
Defense is back together. James Harrison's back on the field.
Yes.
They all seem to be running on all cylinders right now.
And their offense, they've got some young receivers now. It's not just Hines Ward.
This guy, Mike Wallace.
Yeah, he's tremendous.
He's amazing. He's fastest guy in the league.
He's got to be in the top 5. I mean,
easily, yeah.
Yeah, and he's going deep. They're getting the ball to him.
And Pittsburgh's got to win this game. In fact, they got to win the last 4.
If they want to be have a bye, yes.
They got to win the next 4. So, okay, Pittsburgh's going to take that one. Tampa Bay at Jacksonville.
Well, it sounds like one of these games from hell that both teams are, how should we say it, lacking quarterbacks at the moment. Although Freeman may be back for this game with the Buccaneers. Jacksonville, we saw Monday night.
Freeman wasn't playing that good before he went out.
No, he wasn't.
The whole offense wasn't playing that well.
And
even with LeGarrette Blount,
they did nothing.
They weren't doing much of anything. Very inconsistent this year. And a real disappointment from last year. They were 10-6. This year, what are they, 4-8 right now?
They're not. I think they're both 4-8.
Yeah, and to get a winning season, I mean, not a winning season, they can't, but just to tie
Yeah.
500 season, it'll be tough for both of them.
And Jacksonville on Monday night. I mean, Blaine
Against Blaine
Gabbert. He showed me nothing. I mean,
Not
he's
really.
been starting all year pretty much, and if anything, he looks confused out there. He's been a rookie quarterback that was expected a lot of, and other rookies have done well this year at quarterback.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Well, some guys takes them a couple of years.
True.
He's one of them, apparently,
Yeah.
because he's not doing very well this year. And they do have a strong running game. Jacksonville's a good running game,
Yeah.
and they've had a very good defense,
Defense has been okay.
Which is,
Maurice Jones running has been okay,
which is good for any rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, those are two important things to have.
but they don't have wide receivers, and that hurts the quarterback, obviously.
Yeah, they just lost their coach. The owner just sold the teams.
Yeah.
These guys are a little messed up right now.
Yeah, they're
So
transitioning.
I don't know who to go with here. I have no idea.
I would go with a home team.
I guess go with the home team. Go with Jacksonville. But both at 4-8. Of course, some of it may depend on Josh Freeman's back,
Yeah.
as you said. But either way, I'm not going to watch this game. So
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a game from hell.
right. Kansas City at New York Jets. Now this could be interesting.
Yes. The Jets
We
have-
both hate the Jets, by the way, because
Yeah.
we're New England Patriots fans. So just so you know.
Yeah.
And I don't like the Steelers. He likes them a little better than me, but I don't like the Steelers. In any case,
Yeah,
Kansas City at New York. Tyler Palko is going to be at quarterback, or Kyle Orton? He hurt his finger. Orton did.
We don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
Probably won't matter much.
The Jets are one of these hot and cold teams that, they play very well when, things are more important, but every so often they have Sanchez throwing interceptions that are, how should you say, beyond imagination.
True.
He just misses them. But I think they have too much on Kansas City.
Kansas City's got defense is playing good.
Yeah.
Held the Bears last week to 3 points. Now I know they had Caleb Haney at quarterback. The Bears did, but still, 3
Hey.
points is 3 points.
They got some speed on defense. They've got some tough guys.
I'm going to go for an upset here. I think Kansas City goes.
Oh,
in
I'd love
and,
to see it, but I would love to see it, but
We both would, but probably the Jets are going to take this one.
unfortunate as it may be.
So. And the Jets have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. They've got to keep pace with Denver and with Tennessee Titans, who are 7-5 also.
Correct.
So, okay. Houston Texans are going to Cincinnati Bengals.
This is an interesting game because both teams really need to. Well, Cincinnati really needs to win it at home.
Cincinnati's another 7-5 team, along
Correct.
with the Jets, Denver, Oakland, and Tennessee.
And Houston, I mean, they've got their division pretty much locked up. They're 2 games in front of Tennessee. I think they've beaten Tennessee at least once. They've got a quarterback situation that they're down to the third quarterback.
Who supposedly played well, though.
Yes,
T.J. Yates.
Yeah, this guy is from North Carolina State, or
I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
but
never
I read
heard of
some
him.
stuff on him. They said he played pretty well. He's got Arian Foster and Ben Tate.
yes, running
He's
the
got
game.
2 good running backs. They're going to get 150 yards a game running, probably.
And they get the second-rated defense now.
First or second?
Second, I think.
Second?
Houston.
Yeah, I thought it was first. But in any case, they got a great defense. So, as we were talking about with Jacksonville, with a rookie quarterback, this guy T.J. Yates, he's got a decent running game. Very good running game, I should say. It's the leading
Rushing team, yes.
leading rushing team.
I'm pretty sure that would be
One
correct.
or two. And so, I go with Houston, even though they're playing in Cincinnati.
Here's Cincinnati with a rookie quarterback we just mentioned,
Who's played great.
who's played absolutely great. They've got an outstanding, wide receiver there in A.J. Green.
Yep.
And they've got a very good defense, too.
They do.
They didn't show it
They
last
do.
week, but yeah, there's
Yeah,
defense.
they got blown out against Pittsburgh last week.
Yeah,
so
but,
they may be on the rebound this week. They've got, as we said, they've got to win this game.
Yes, it's desperation time for them.
So, I'm going to go with Houston. Who are you taking?
I'll go with Houston, too.
Houston, okay. And then we got, of course, our favorite team of all time, New England Patriots, are going to Washington. And this, I think, is a no-brainer. Brady gets 3 touchdown passes. They run for 130 or 40 yards.
They turned the ball over once, maybe twice.
Oh, New England?
No,
Oh,
Washington.
Washington will turn the ball
Yeah,
over.
the
right.
Patriots will get the takeaways because Washington's
Yeah.
quarterback.
Grossman is going to throw an interception, at least one.
Yeah.
Their running game hasn't been very much lately.
Well, Halo is
Defense is playing pretty well for Washington, but still, they're not going to stop Brady and the boys.
Well, Halo, the running back.
Yeah, he's done okay.
Yeah, he had 100 yards last week.
Yeah.
But they lost 2 offensive players this week due to drug offenses. Tackle
tackle,
Williams.
Right tackle.
Yeah, right tackle, and their tight end.
Tight end, Fred Davis.
Yeah, so Williams and Davis are both out
That's
for
gonna
4
hurt.
games.
Yeah. So New England with an easy one here, we think, right?
Yeah, 16 points maybe.
Okay. All right. Then we got Philadelphia going to Miami. Now this
2 teams in opposite
could
directions.
be very interesting, right?
2 teams in opposite directions.
They've got the same records, but Philly is going down and Miami is going up. So at home, Miami's had a horrible record the last couple of years. I know they won 2 games at home, but still.
This year they're 3-1 at home.
Are they 3-1? Remember
Yeah.
last year they lost every one.
No, last year they were inept.
So yeah, I go with Miami here. Vic's supposed to be coming back. Michael Vick's going to play
That's all the
quarterback.
reports are now. Jackson
But-
is supposedly going to be on his best behavior.
I still don't think it matters. The Miami defense has been playing great.
They're a top 5 defense.
Matt Moore seems to get better every game. Reggie Bush is running the ball well. So I'm going with Miami. What do you think?
This is going to be a tight game. If Eagles avoid the turnovers, I would give it to the Eagles. If
Come on. Give me one or the other. Not an if they do this or if they do that.
I'll
Who do
take
you
Miami.
think? You're going to take Miami? See?
Yes.
Yeah, you're smarter than I thought. Me too.
Well, like I said, I don't know that Philadelphia can avoid the turnovers. If they do, I think they'll win the game. But my guess is if Philadelphia, they've been a turnover machine all year.
True.
You know, if they turn it over,
Miami Dolphins.
correct.
New Orleans Saints going to Tennessee Titans.
Tigers need to win at home.
This is going to be an interesting game, I think. Drew Brees, the last few weeks, has just been playing out of this world. I mean, his numbers are incredible. Their defense has been playing well. They completely dismantled the Giants a couple weeks ago. I don't know. But Tennessee, they're playing at home. Chris Johnson ran for 153 yards last week. Matt Hasselbeck's been playing pretty good. Their defense has been okay. This is a tough call.
Well, Tennessee's got to control the ball. They can't let Breeze.
They can't let Breeze have the ball a lot,
Yeah.
or they're going to get killed.
Yeah. Turnovers again. If Tennessee turns it over, they're hurting. New Orleans, you know, they've been playing lights out. But at this time of the season, you know, could they let one slip? Yeah, this is a game that's possible. You know,
They don't need this game. I'm sure they'd like to have it. Obviously, they want to have the last 4 and go out at 13-3.
Well, they want the second seed,
But
which
yeah.
San Francisco has now.
Yep. And
So
they're a game behind San Francisco, so they do need this. But Tennessee's fighting for their life. I know. I'm going with Tennessee in this. So I'm going to take a
a flyer.
flyer. Yeah. Why not?
Well, I'm going to have to go with the Saints. I mean, until someone shows me that Breeze is human.
True.
Okay.
All right. Next, Atlanta at Carolina. This is an interesting game also because
Atlanta's been disappointing.
Atlanta's played not well lately.
They've been very disappointing coming off last year.
You're right. And who'd they lose to this past week? They lost to Houston.
Yeah, Houston, with a rookie quarterback.
17-10 they lost.
Yeah.
So, and Carolina's been playing well. Cam Newton's having a heck of a year. Just broke the quarterback record.
Steve Grogan.
For rushing touchdowns with Steve Grogan set back in 78 or 9.
Yeah, and Grogan did it in
Something like
14 games, and
True.
yeah.
Newton's broke it already in 12 games. So
yeah, quite a thing.
Grogan, of course, played for the New England Patriots.
Yes, fan favorite in our
but-
younger days.
So this one, I got to go with Carolina.
I think
I
Atlanta's...
really do. Their defense is playing well. They got a good running game. Those 2 running backs.
Atlanta's got more to prove here. I think after this last week's disappointment against Houston, I think they underestimated Houston. They didn't come out on their A game. You know, they've got the talent there. I mean, they showed it last year.
Well,
This
they
year,
do, but Matt Ryan's not had a good year. Let's face it.
he's
Hasn't been like he was last year.
or the year before, his
Right.
rookie year. I mean,
You want Atlanta?
yeah. So I'm going to take Atlanta in this
I'm
one.
taking Carolina. Okay. Indianapolis at Baltimore. Do we have to say anything about this game?
Well,
Indianapolis loses again. Baltimore.
3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter against the Patriots.
Yeah, they did. I don't know what happened with that. But anyway, Baltimore's taking this one.
Yeah, that's almost a no-brainer. It's Baltimore.
Next one, Minnesota and Detroit. This one could be interesting too because Minnesota played pretty well against Denver. I mean, it was Tebow time at the end, and he pulled out another one. But they played pretty well. They scored 32 points.
Denver's got a respectable defense too. So,
Right, they do, and they've been playing very well lately. Detroit looks like a team that is just completely undisciplined. I think it
pen-
comes from the head coach. I think that guy's he's just a loose cannon. This guy,
10
Jim
penalties
Schwartz.
in last 2 games.
Penalties, personal foul penalties, Ndamukong Suh getting ejected and now suspended for 2 games. I mean, these guys, and some dumb penalties, some very dumb penalties.
They're amateur penalties.
Yeah,
amateur.
they are. They're just out of control. So, and Minnesota's playing well. They're playing in Detroit. I don't know. I should probably go with Detroit, but you know what? I want Minnesota.
I would like Minnesota too, but
Minnesota,
I still got to go with Detroit on
Going
this
with Detroit.
one.
Well, you're probably making the wise decision. All right, Chicago and Denver.
Interesting game here too.
Yeah.
In Denver.
In Denver.
Um,
But I got to go with Tim Tebow.
Yeah,
Got to do it.
yeah.
The guy's, was he 6-1 now as a starter?
6-1, 1 turnover.
One turnover.
And
That's
he's not even
amazing.
rated in the NFL system in quarterback rating because he hasn't got enough attempts. Yeah.
Well, he threw 15 last week, completed 10, so that was a big improvement.
I
for
know
him.
that, but that was more than the last 2 games combined.
That's right. That's right.
So, but then Denver's got a defense that last week they didn't show up against Minnesota, but their defense has been playing good. Miller was out
They've been
last
playing
week.
well. Yeah.
Von Miller was out, but they've been playing very well. Their rushing game's good. They don't commit turnovers. And
I
that's,
thought they were the leading rushing team, not Houston now. That's where I read that.
no,
They're right up there together.
Yeah, I would
somehow.
say they're 1 and 2, but I
yeah, they
think
got a
Houston-
great rushing game. Defense is playing well. Chicago has
turnovers.
no quarterback. Matt Forte
is
who
hurt.
was accounting for 38% of their offense, by the way.
Is hurt.
He's
Out.
hurt. He's out. They're playing on the road. Got to go with Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. I would
Okay.
agree with that one.
San Francisco 49ers and Arizona Cardinals.
Well, the Arizona pulled off a big upset with Dallas.
They did.
In Arizona.
Surprising game.
Back
but
home again.
49ers, no, I don't see him. I don't see him taking the 49ers. They're just playing too well. Alex Smith is doing very well this year. He hasn't got tremendous numbers, but he's not making mistakes. He's got a good completion ratio. They got Frank Gore running. Patrick Willis will be out for this game.
That's correct.
He is hurt. He's got a hamstring, minor hamstring, it's described
Yeah.
as, but he's not going to play. He's probably their best linebacker.
But this is
He's probably the best
game.
linebacker in the league, actually.
Yeah.
But he's not going to play, so that could affect him. However, I don't think the Cardinals' offense is all that great, so I think San Francisco pulls it together. They're going to take Arizona.
I kind of like Arizona in this one, only because similar with New Orleans, they're going to have a slip someplace. They got the formula. If they don't turn the ball over, they played very good defense against the Cowboys. Their running game was,
They play very good defense against everybody.
yeah. At home, I think San Francisco might go into this one taking a little bit, too light. They got a
Maybe.
chip on their
I don't
shoulder.
know, Harbaugh, though, he's got these guys just motivated to the max this year. I don't see it. But you think Arizona?
Yeah, if I'm going to have to pick an upset of the week, I'd like Arizona at home.
Okay, I'm taking San Francisco. Buffalo Bills versus San Diego Chargers. You know what? Who cares?
Yeah. And this is the game that
These
made it.
two teams are just, they're both 5-7, right?
Yeah.
Mathematically, San Diego is still in the hunt in the West.
I don't-
Buffalo's out, and they just.
Yeah. After
The quarterback started great first 5 games. The next 7 games,
running game
Down the
started
toilet.
great.
defense was at least okay in the beginning.
Yeah.
But they stink now. They
Yeah.
just they can't stop anybody. They're playing in San Diego. San Diego played well
Monday night.
Monday night. Phillip Rivers finally did what he was supposed to be doing all year.
Correct.
He hit everybody.
Yeah.
Great passes, great throws. So I'm going with San Diego.
Yeah, I would have to say San Diego.
Then we got Oakland at the Packers.
I don't think anyone's going to beat the Packers.
I don't either. But again, they've got 4 games. Are they going to let down with one of them?
I don't see it at Green Bay.
I don't see it either at home. I
Yeah.
got to go with Green Bay. Oakland's been real shaky the last few weeks. Carson Palmer's played okay. Their defense, they gave up 34 points to Miami.
Yeah, and
Right?
it was
It was just
effortless.
Well, I think one of them was an interception return. But still, Oakland's defense did not play well. And that's been unusual for them this year. So I'm going, of course, with the Packers.
yeah,
Packers.
that's pretty easy.
Giants and the Cowboys.
The big game of the week, Sunday
We're also
night.
kind of Cowboy fans, too.
Yes.
NFC, we got Dallas. The AFC, New England, and we're both from New England. So, if Dallas plays New England, we go with New England. But But
Yeah.
otherwise, the Cowboys. Even though Jerry Jones still owns them.
Yes, which is sad.
Yeah, that's got to change someday. Anyway, Giants at Dallas. This is a toss-up, I think.
Based on last week's performance, the Giants lost to the Saints, played very well.
Then they played well against the Packers.
Oh, I'm sorry, against the Packers. You're
Lost to
correct.
the Saints, got blown up, but they played very well against the Packers.
They played very well against the Packers.
And that game could have gone either way. So
I think the Giants have righted their ship. I think Dallas at home, Tony Romo's hot and cold.
hot and cold.
Yeah.
They blew that one in Arizona. That was the coach. And I think that's a problem they've had all year long. I think the play calling has been suspect. I don't think Jason Garrett's a head coach. I think he's a great offensive coordinator, but that's about it. So, I don't know. My heart tells me Dallas, so I'm going to go with Dallas.
Based on last week's performance, I have to go with the Giants.
Giants.
Eli Manning looked
All right.
well. Their defense, playing the Packers, they gave up the points, but who doesn't? They look better than they had in the past few weeks. Some of them are getting healthy again.
All good reasons.
Yeah.
You want the Giants.
I like the Giants in this one.
All right, Cowboys for me. Last game. Monday night game. What a waste of a Monday night game.
Yes, that's true. But
St. Louis Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. And again,
At Seattle.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They're playing at Seattle. I'm going with Seattle just because the Rams really stink. And their backup quarterback, A.J. Feely, right?
He's hurt.
He just hurt his finger.
So we're not sure who.
Bradford, why was Bradford out? He was hurt?
He
Had
had
to have
some
been hurt.
ankle or foot or
If
something.
both of those guys are hurt and they got the third string quarterback, forget it. I mean, they can't score anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. Seattle's got a good defense.
They beat Philadelphia pretty convincingly.
They certainly did. I'm going with Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle also.
Seattle. All right, well, there's our scheduled games for this week. We'll be back. Our next show, we'll be back probably with a recap of this weekend's games. We may be able to do another segment in there in between, but if not, then we're going to recap the games for this weekend. So please watch our next episode. We're going to have a number of them up on our channel here on Beetle. And we're going to have some fun, and we're going to try to come up with our name, too. That's
Yeah, we will come up with that.
our next goal here is to
Yeah.
come up with a decent name. And but until then, this is Tom Akins with Charlie Bass,
Take care, all.
and we'll see you soon.